Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing a very requested video here on my channel, and I am going to go over, this is a big tote. You guys can see this has, I believe to my knowledge, every single eyeshadow palette I have in my collection right now. I do have some Z palettes in here as well, so I'll kind of put those aside and save those for another video. I don't have a lot of single palettes, so they're not that interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this first one, and then I'm going to pull these out like one at a time. Hi, you can see me. So the first palette I have right here is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This is the original Norvina palette that came out I think last year. I really like this palette. It's not my favorite out of the ABH collection, but I do like this one a lot. So that is the first one. I'm going to go over these quickly because this is going to take a while otherwise. So, and then these next ones are actually, I'm actually in the process of decluttering these. I still have them in my makeup room, but I am getting rid of them. This is the Too Faced Sparkling Pineapple eyeshadow palette. I also have the berry one, and that one is leaving. I'm going to zoom in now that I can. I think this is better. I have you guys zoomed in now. So this, again, I never actually think I used this, maybe once, and it's just not my favorite formula. I don't reach for this that often, so I am decluttering that one. The same thing goes for the raspberry one, and I bought this one off of a recommendation from Andrea Mattiliano, and I don't know, it's really reflective, but I actually never used this palette. I think I swatched it once. I don't know why I bought this. I don't even like colors like this that much. So yeah, that one is also leaving my collection. So this next one is from e.l.f. Again, this is pathetic. There are quite a few in here that I've never used, and this is one of them. So this is the Rose Gold Sunset. The tape is still on this. This hasn't even been opened yet. But this reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance, kind of. So the next one, I have another ABH. This is the Soft Glam. I've used this one a whole lot more than the Norvina palette. But that's what this one looks like. I really enjoy this palette. I like it a lot. I think my favorite is the next one, which is the Sultry palette. So this is my personal favorite. This is the ABH Sultry palette. This was holiday for 2018, and I actually didn't really plan on picking this up at first because it reminded me a lot when they redid the Naked palette. It had that same like pop of like a pinky red, and I actually didn't plan on picking this up, but then I saw so many videos and I loved it, so I decided to go ahead and grab it, and this is one of my favorites. Next here on top is the Huda Nude. This is the New Nudes. This is still in the box. I have used this one though. I've used this on my sister-in-law. I'm doing her wedding makeup, and so I got this specifically for that. Otherwise I would have never bought this. It's just a really basic rose. It just screams bridal makeup to me, and this is not something I would reach for often, but I did get this specifically to do her makeup, so I do have that one. And then I have another one that I am decluttering. This is the Sweet Nothings palette by Colourpop. My dog is barking because, I don't know, my mail's here maybe. Okay, so this is the Sweet Nothing palette, or Nothings. Again, I don't know why I picked this up. It was like an Ulta exclusive. And at the time, I really liked this shade. Let me see if I can swatch it for you guys. But it's like a really pretty lavender. I don't even know if that's picking up. I don't even think it is. But again, I don't reach for this. I don't really care for it. So it is also leaving my collection. And then this is another thing. This is from Butter London, and this is their Natural Goddess. And this actually came in a BoxyCharm. And it's not good. I think I used it once. I didn't really like it, and then I just decided to declutter. It just hasn't made its way out of my makeup room yet, but that is another one that's leaving. So this next one is still in the package as well. This is from Glamlight. I just received this in my Try Beauty box that they did in collaboration with Angelica. This lighting is like really wonky, I'm really sorry. But that's what the inside, let me remove that. That's what the inside of this looks like. I haven't tried this out yet. I've been traveling a bit this month with the holidays and stuff, and I've added quite a few eyeshadow palettes, as you guys will see, to my collection. So I haven't had a chance to mess with this one yet. And I've never tried the Glamlight formula. This next one is from Violet Voss. This is their rainbow eyeshadow palette, and I bought this on a whim. I was in Sephora one day and I saw this and I was like, that's really pretty. It's an all shimmer palette with, like, as you can tell, rainbow type shades. It's nothing like, the shimmers are really nice, but I don't think I ever used this palette. I think I've swatched it a bunch, but I don't think I've ever actually used it. Maybe on my niece, because my niece loves these shades. But that is this one. I don't even know if this is still in existence or if it's been discontinued. Another palette is from Zoeva, and this is their Melody palette, and I picked this up when Zoeva came into Ulta Beauty. I did a video with this. I really liked this palette. I love this packaging. I really like Zoeva as a brand in general, so I'm excited to try more from them. Okay, so moving on into some of my favorite palettes, and I'm going to start with my least favorite from the collection, and this is from Kaleidos Makeup, or Kaleidos Cosmetics, I don't know what they call it. So this is the Futurism 3 Astro Pink, and this is actually my least favorite of the Futurism palettes, just because, again, I don't love this. This isn't my go-to color story, but that is what this one looks like. And then I'll go over the other ones. And so this is number, I think this is number 5. Yeah, this is number 5, the Electro Turquoise, and I really like these shades. This blue down here is like super pretty. I love that shade. This palette is really nice. I love the Kaleidos like formula. It's one of my favorites. And then this is number 2. This is the Cyber Bronze palette. I also have a video up on my channel doing a look with this palette. I really like these shades. These two, like candy, like a candy apple and that bright silver, I really like. And then I'll go in to the Futurism 4, which is the neon, the VR neon. Again, my pink looks a little messed up because I did repress this because mine came shattered. But that's what this looks like. I love this like palette so much. I love all of these Futurism palettes. They're so good. The formula is amazing. So then this is the Sci-Fi Green, which is probably my favorite, just because I love green grungy shades like this so much. So this is definitely my favorite out of all of them, but the formula is amazing on all of them for sure. And then moving on, this is another, I'm decluttering. This is the Wet n Wild, oh goodness, eyeshadow quad and something. This came out with like their Rose collection. I swatched this. I think I picked this up on clearance just because I liked the packaging and like the design of like the roses in there. And then right after that, there was a bunch of stuff that came out with Wet n Wild not being cruelty free anymore because they were selling in mainland China. So I just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, so I didn't actually ever use it. And then another, this is an oldie, but I still really like it. This is the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. I think they're discontinuing this if they haven't already. But I really like this palette. This is, we're getting into some of like the palettes that I first bought when I got into makeup, and I just like have really nostalgic feelings for them, so I keep them around. But this is Semi-Sweet. I have decluttered a few of the chocolate bar palettes. I have 3. No? Maybe I just have that one and this one. So this is the Chocolate Gold palette from Too Faced. Again, I picked this up right around the time it launched. This has like, I think 4 mattes and the rest are all shimmers, but that shimmer formula is really nice on these. So I've kept this, and I like, it's so pleasant to smell like that chocolatey scent in there. I really enjoy that. I know a lot of people, I know there's some people who don't like scented eyeshadows, but it's never bothered me often. This is another one that is leaving my collection. This is from Violet Voss. This is the Essentials palette. Again, this came in a subscription box. I would have probably never picked this up by myself. I think this has been swatched. But yeah, I don't think this is that great. Just in general, I don't really like this palette. So that one is leaving. I don't really care for that color story. And then another oldie but a goodie. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I love these shades. You can create so many pretty looks with this. I think originally I really liked that green shade, which isn't that good of a shade compared to the greens I have now. That's kind of the thing. The formula at the time was pretty good, but for what we have now, it's not the best. But I'm pretty nostalgic and I want to keep this around. And I can create good looks with this. And I love the way this smells so much. Okay, so this is probably the oldest palette in my collection, I would say, currently. Because I remember buying the Modern Renaissance back when the hype on YouTube was everywhere. You guys can see I have some pretty big dips in a few of these shades. Vermeer and Primavera are like two of my favorite shades of all time. And so this definitely doesn't get as much love as it used to, but it's still like, I'm gonna keep it because I'm really nostalgic. Again, I don't think I'm nostalgic in a lot of aspects, but like with my makeup, I want to keep it all. Guess it's not a good thing always. So this next is another palette I got in a BoxyCharm, and this is the Baked Browns. Yeah, Baked Browns from Dose of Colors. I think I've swatched this. I don't think I've ever done a look with this. It's extremely powdery, which I don't know if that's typical, because I have some other Dose of Colors palettes and they're not that powdery, so I don't know if these just weren't pressed as hard as the others. But I'm going to keep this around just for traveling, but I don't think I would have bought this on my own. Okay, moving on to some Marc Jacobs palettes. So this is the Night Owl palette. And if you guys saw my, if I could only keep 10 eyeshadow palettes, this was in there specifically for this green shade down there. Or not green, that gold shade. I love that shade so much. And I haven't been able to find a dupe of it, so I keep this palette around even though I don't really use any of the other shades in here. And this is a pretty old palette. Another one, this is from Makeup Geek, and this is their Champagne and Rose palette. They came out with another one, but I just picked up this one. For a while there, I was super into these. I really enjoyed this palette. Another palette from Marc Jacobs. This is the Starlit. I think I picked this up on clearance, at TJ Maxx or something. I just kind of like the icy fall vibe. Can you guys see that? Or is it really reflective? Sorry if this is my lighting is really powerful. I don't know. I had to move all of my lights up, and I don't know that that was the best idea. But I just really liked this for fall and the iciness of it. Okay, and then another BoxyCharm palette. This is the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. This came out for holiday last year, I believe. And so that's what this looks like. I just got this in December. I haven't touched it or used it yet. But I am excited to, because I really like Natasha Denona as a brand. So I'm excited to try this out. Okay, another Natasha Denona palette. This is the eyeshadow palette number 5. The 5-pan eyeshadow palette number 2. They have redone these palettes to come out in this packaging without this line. They're a little bit smaller now. But I think this is one of the first Natasha Denona products I picked up. And I do like this palette, so I am going to keep it. I don't know why I said I am. I only have a few decluttered. Moving on to some more Dose of Colors palettes. So I picked these up when the Disney and Mickey Mouse collection came out. I am a huge Disney fan. If you guys did not know that, I love going to Disney World. I just really love Disney stuff, and so again, I'm nostalgic, and so I picked this up. And then along with that, they came out with the Minnie Mouse palette, and so this is what the packaging on that one looks like. And then you open it up and it's super pretty. I like that raspberry pink down there at the bottom, and so I just really enjoy these palettes. And then I have, this is super reflective. This is from Davina, and so this was in collaboration with Angelica. I think they call this like the Moonwell bundle. But that's what this looks like. I really enjoy this palette. I have a review up and some looks up with this palette if you want to see more about this, but I love that palette. And then this is something I got in my FabFitFun box. I haven't, it's still in like the thing, the sleeve. And so this is the Beauty Bakery Proof is in the Pudding. And so this is pretty bland, but I've never tried this Beauty Bakery formula for eyeshadow palettes, so I've wanted to keep it around just to try it just for that. So I am going to try this and keep this around just because I do want to see what the formula is like for their shadows. And then another one I'm getting rid of, this is the Tarte Pro To Go palette. I picked this up, oh my goodness, at least 2 years ago, if not longer than that. I do like the way this smells though. I just thought when I was first building my collection that this would be cute for traveling, but I don't ever use this. It does smell really good, so I do like that. But this is also leaving my collection. These are good for traveling, it's just not something I use a lot. And so this is the ColourPop Double Entendre eyeshadow palette, and I really like this one. No, I like the other one more, but I do really like this one as well. I like these nude palettes. Again, when I need a more neutral look, I really like the ColourPop formula. I think it's the I Think I Love You that I use a lot more. Yeah. So then I have, it's in the same packaging, which is extremely annoying to me, but I do really like this palette as well. I have a pretty big dip into that one. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I really do like the ColourPop formula. And then I have two more ColourPop palettes. So I have the Blue Moon, which I believe I have a video up on my channel with. I love these shades. It is so pretty. It reminds me of just china, blue china that my grandma would have or something, but it's super pretty. And then I did just get this one for Christmas. I had asked for this. So this is the Honey palette, and I can't not say it that way. I didn't buy this myself originally because this is a pressed glitter, and I don't use pressed glitters on my eye. I just, personal preference, I actually don't really like glitter on my eye. But I'm going to pop that out and see if I have another yellow shade that would look really good in there in place of that. But I haven't had a chance to play with this one yet, but I am excited to. And then I have a mini palette from Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Star palette. And I got this in my swag bag from when I went to Sephora this past September. And I do like this. This actually stays in my smaller makeup bag that I keep in our master bathroom instead of in my makeup room, so I can do a look in the mornings if I need to. And then I am going to count this as a palette and separate from my singles. This is from Lethal Cosmetics. This is a custom palette that I made, but it fits so nice in here. I just want to show you. This is a little down. That's fine. So this was my first purchase from Lethal. I think this was actually my first palette I did on my channel. I think this was the first video I filmed with this. So again, I love the Lethal Cosmetics formula. I want to pick up some more shadows from them. I just haven't been able to yet. And so getting on down, I have a few Juvia's Place palettes. Some of these are new to me. So this is the Nubian 3, the Coral palette. So, unpopular opinion, I hate this palette. I hate it so much. I bought this because I bought into the hype that it was so good and I needed it, and like I don't like this at all. I think I've used it a couple times and I probably should declutter it, but I don't know yet if I'm going to because it is still so new, but I don't really like this palette. And then this next one I just got for Christmas. This is the Nomad palette from Juvia's Place. And I know when I first saw this come out, I asked on an Instagram poll if people wanted to see this. And I don't think most people wanted to, but I really still liked the color story and I wanted to buy it. So I asked for this for Christmas. So I did get this. I haven't been able to do any looks with it yet. Same thing for this. I did get this for Christmas. This is the Warrior 3 by Juvia's Place. That purple I've heard amazing things about. I did swatch these over Christmas because I have zero self-control. But I still need to do an eye look with them. And then the next one is the Warrior. So this is the first one that came out. And so that's what this one looks like. It's just a nice nude palette, a little bit warm. And then this is my favorite Juvia's Place palette. This is fantastic. This is the Tribe palette. I believe I have filmed with this. If I haven't, I've posted a lot on Instagram about this palette. This is my favorite. This would probably be in my top 5 favorite palettes in my collection. I love this one so much. I love greens though. So I'm just kind of stacking everything in front of me now, so we'll see how long this goes. So these next ones I haven't tried yet. I did just recently get them. So these are from Blush Tribe. I picked these up on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And so this is the Pastel Tribe. And this one was limited edition. I don't know if it's still available. I have not swatched these ones yet. But these are just so pretty and colorful, and I love that. Okay, the next one is the Lila 2, or Lila 2? Lila 2. So a green palette, of course. And so I actually am like super pumped to have this because it's already a green palette, which is some of my favorites. And then this is actually, that shade name is called Sarah, and it's spelled the same way my name is, because a lot of times Sarah is spelled with an H and this one is not, and so that just makes me really happy. So I am super excited to play with this one as well. And then the last palette I picked up from Blush Tribe is called the Paulina palette, and this was a collaboration palette. I'm gonna have to move. So this is the Paulina palette. Let me open this one. It's still in the sleeve too. So that is what this one looks like. Super pretty. Again, I love these green shades. I love the purples and that like raspberry pinks. This shimmer looks amazing. It's like a lavender. It's super pretty. Okay, so now we're getting into some other new palettes for me. So I just picked this up on launch day. And this is the Fenty Beauty like mini snap shadows, and I got the number 7 Cadet. And so I will be filming a separate video using this one, but this is the palette that I was most interested in. I did go in store and swatch these before I bought this. So that's what this one looks like. Again, I really like these grungy shades, and I thought this one was the most unique because it does have like that duochrome. You guys probably can't see that, but I'll do a full video on this palette specifically so you guys can see a little bit more about it. And then I did pick up a Viseart palette. They did come back in stock. If you guys see, this video will come up after that, but I did talk about in my 10 brands I want to try in 2020. I did talk about trying Viseart. And I actually did order the Soleil. I just don't have that one yet. So both of them came back in stock. So I do already have a video up of this mini Natasha Denona. This is the mini Glam. I have a couple others back here as well. But I already have some swatches and a first impression up. This just launched on the 26th of December. Again, I was able to pick that up in store. And then I have the mini Gold, which I picked this one up at Sephora. I bought this one when I was in LA at Sephora in September. I love this. I also have a video up of this palette. And then this one is still in the box. I'll take it out. And this is the Lila palette. This is the one that doesn't have the best reviews because the formula is different. But I was able to get this for $10 on sale. And I figured for 10 bucks I would try it out just to see like how it does compare. Because I didn't try this originally. And I've tried the other minis. And I want to kind of just see myself how much different they are. But that is, I believe, the last mini palette I have from Natasha Denona. And so then I'll do these two Tarte palettes. So I have the Tartelette in Bloom, which is just pretty much a staple for me anymore. These nudes, or it was a staple. I think I included this palette in my if I could keep 10 palettes, just so I could have those cool tone nudes in there. I really like this palette a lot. And then I have the Tartelette Toasted palette, and this came out when all of like these warm tone shades were like super popular. I think 2017 is when these came out. But I do like the formula on these, so I have kept these around for a while, even though I don't use them that often anymore. Or at least that one I don't use as often. This next one is the Violet Voss Holy Grail, and so this is kind of like an expanded version, in my opinion, of the Modern Renaissance. I do really like this. I kind of like this top two rows better than the bottom two, but I've used this quite a bit. And I think I actually received this in like a BoxyCharm as well, so that was pretty awesome because these can be a little pricey for these big palettes, but I do really enjoy this one. I'm like running out of space here. And so this next one, I haven't used often. I really should declutter, but I love Emily Noel, so I've kept this. This is the Once palette from the collaboration Emily Noel did with Makeup Revolution. I did declutter the Needs palette just because I did not need it. I think I gave it to my sister, but I have used this a couple times. The Makeup Revolution formula is not my favorite, but I am going to keep this because there are a few shades in here that I do really like, but it's not something I reach for that often anymore, and I just really bought them out of, I love Emily Noel, so I wanted to support her. This next palette is my Natasha Denona Gold palette, and so I think it was also featured in my If I Could Keep 10 palettes. This one looks a little rough because I love her. She's amazing, and this is like a cream shadow, so it's kind of messier anyways. But I really, really love this palette. I've used this quite a few times. We had family pictures done, and I used this palette. I took this with me over Christmas as well. And then I have another palette. Well, this next palette is from Menagerie, and this is the Killer Purr palette. And so that's what this one looks like. And I have done a video on my channel with this, and I love this palette so much. I like Menagerie a lot. I can't wait to try more. I just got a notification this morning that their Squid Ink palette came back in stock. It sold out on Black Friday. So I didn't pick it up. But then this is the Yes Please palette from ColourPop. This is probably one of my first, actually I think this was like the first pressed like palette form ColourPop came out with. For a while there I was actually collecting all of the ColourPop palettes, but then they, again, you know, ColourPop now, they release way too much, so I stopped keeping up with that and started decluttering them because I used to have a lot more ColourPop than I do now. And I think I just keep this around for nostalgic purposes, just because this was the first thing I bought from ColourPop. So we're getting to the end. So this is the Good Sport palette from ColourPop. This is probably my favorite. I really like this row a lot. You can do like, I don't know, I just see like sunsets when I see those shades. And it has a bit of that grungy vibe to it, so I really enjoy this palette as well. This is probably one of my favorite ColourPop palettes. And then I have the Mini Norvina Pro Volume 2. I do have a video up on my channel of this I do really like this palette. It's super pretty. Yeah, I really like the palette. And then next I have the Hot Buttered Rum from Too Faced. And then this is what it looks like. I also have a video up of this palette. I do really enjoy this palette. I like it. It was probably the best release they came up with the holiday, I think, in my opinion. And then I have the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. This is so old. This is like still like the tin packaging when Too Faced used to do this. So this used to be super hyped up on YouTube. I don't think anybody talks about this anymore because it's so old, but I still keep it around, again, for like nostalgic purposes. I don't think I actually use this palette anymore, or it's been at least a year since I have, but I do keep it around just to like pull it out some days. And I like the packaging. It's super cute. Just have like old nostalgic feelings. So I didn't plan this, but my last two are both Marc Jacobs palettes. And then this one is it's just called the Glam. This is just a mini. And I bought this for traveling when I first started collecting makeup, or like getting into makeup. I was able to pick this up at like TJ Maxx, and I wanted to try out the Marc Jacobs formula. And so that's when I bought that one. This one is Provocateur. This is like a purple raspberry palette. I'm actually decluttering this one because I don't really like this one that much. I don't think the formula is like the best. I really just like this shade. But again, it's really similar to some other shades that I have, so I